YouTubers. It's been a couple of days since I took the motorhome apart. And I'd like to continue on with part 3, which will be changing wheel cylinders and cleaning and repacking the rear wheel bearings and servicing the hubs. Driving in the new seals. There's only one problem with doing that. I can't find any parts! That's right. I guess there were so few Nissan trucks made with dual wheels and with a full floating axle that some of the places don't even have a listing for it. And some of the ones that at least have a listing for the vehicle have no part numbers because they can't get them. So I went to the normal places. I went to Canadian Tire. Usually they have pretty good supply of stuff. Ironically, they think they might be able to get the wheel cylinders for the brakes from their sister company or whatever company called Part Source, which just does the auto parts part of it, separate from Canadian Tire, but together. So I'll get a phone call back today if they can find one, or the wheel cylinders. I checked with Napa. They don't have a listing for it. I don't think, anyway. I say I don't think because on the phone I was talking to a female parts person, and I try not to be racist or stereotyping, but you have to understand that I worked in the automotive industry for years and worked on the side, as I call it, worked at home, ordered a lot of parts over the years with racing and everything else going on. And if you go to the places like a Canadian Tire or normal, just a generic store, like, it's hit and miss because half the time they hire students. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They don't know what you're talking about. You go to the parts stores, and that's their business. And there are good women in the parts stores, but they're few and far between. They have to be motorheads, not just people looking for a job. I would say the number of female parts counter personnel that I've encountered are maybe 10%, 15 on a good day. Men, on the other hand, 60, 70. You have to get the old school guys that have done it their whole lives, and you just don't find that anymore. I think part of it's because they don't pay a huge amount of money for people to work at a parts counter. You can't make a living doing it. Maybe some places they can, but it makes it frustrating for us you know, if we're trying to find parts to fix your car, what are we supposed to do? We're at their mercy. Be kind of like hiring someone off the street to provide the surgical tools for a doctor. I'm going to do open heart surgery, but they weren't sure, so they gave me this X-Acto knife and a pair of vice grips. Yeah, because, you know, they know that the clamps kind of close and they lock shut. Okay, vice grips do that. We can cut with it exactly. It's a knife, you know. It just, sometimes the people just don't fit. And I got the feeling I had to explain 2 or 3 times to her the fact that that it was an RV, a motorhome. Built on a Nissan truck chassis. And she kept thinking it was the one that was like a pickup truck with a slide-in camper. And when I was talking about the rear wheel bearings, she said, rear wheel bearings, so it's 4-wheel drive. I said, no, it's not. It's 2-wheel drive. How many back wheels do you have? 4. Well, then it's 4-wheel drive. No, it's not 4-wheel drive. 4-wheel drive is the front and back axle driving. Doesn't matter how many tires on there, because it's the wheels, the corners of the vehicles, the locations of each wheels that you'd count, not how many wheels are actually on there. And she just couldn't get it through her head that because it had 4 wheels on the back, it wasn't 4-wheel drive. So I knew right away I was up for an uphill battle. And after a few minutes, I got frustrated with her. I said, look, can I talk to somebody else there? Well, this is what I do. You know, I work the parts counter. Well, I got nothing against people learning, but don't do it on my time. You know, I live in the country. I live in a small town. When I phone Winnipeg for parts, it's long distance. I pay by the minute. During the day, it's peak hours. You pay the most. You can learn on someone's time at the counter when they can point to pictures on your little computer screen or in the catalog. I don't have that luxury. I'm phoning from, you know, wherever. So frustrating as heck. You know, really frustrating. So now I gave up on them, and I phoned another company that is another big supplier in around Winnipeg called Piston Ring. Piston Ring had a listing for the parts. They don't know where they can get them from. They think they say the States, and it's going to take 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks, I could ride a bicycle down to the States and pick up the parts. Then, should be able to get them right from Nissan. You know, it may not be something a dealer stocks, but they have a couple of warehouses in Canada. Maybe that'll work. They were the best. They were the best help. They found the numbers. Okay, they found the numbers. I have numbers. I can get the parts from you. We don't stock them. Well, okay. But I do need them. So can you get them for me? Yes, but because they're special order, you have to pay for them first. Okay, how does that work for me because I'm out of town? Can I give you a credit card number? No, you got to come down in person. Pay cash because you could cancel the credit card payment. Okay, so you say you don't trust your customers. Well, you come down and give a deposit or pay for the whole thing. Okay, I'll do that. How long do you think it'll take? They had a good answer for me. We don't even know if we can get them. So you're telling me I have to pay for parts that I might not get? If you can get them, how long will it take? I don't know. We'll find out if we can get them. And we'll call you when they come in. Well, give me an idea. Am I going to get these parts in a week? 2 weeks? A month? Yeah, can you tell I'm frustrated? So, gas went up in price because the government decided that they needed to put 2 or 3 more cents for the taxes on our gas per liter to pay for road repairs because the infrastructure is getting bad. The roads here don't last well because of the winter, the freezing, thawing, and all that, the road salt and everything. So, but they haven't maintained stuff for years. The money that they took off of gasoline and diesel fuel for all these years was originally slated to pay for the roads. Well, that's just become a money grab for the government, so it doesn't really go there. It goes to paying off the deficit, which was run up because most governments don't know what the hell they're doing. So we got dinged a little more, so we're paying about $1.23 a liter for gas. So that would be $4.94 a gallon approximately. So my van gets probably 20 miles per gallon in the city. Actually, I'll figure out right away what it gets. Okay. I'm averaging 21.2. And I can get an active reading too if I want as I'm driving. So 20 miles per gallon, I figure I'll do 40, 50 miles. So I'm going to burn 10, 15 bucks worth of gas going to parts stores to deal with people that don't know what they're doing. Or places that don't know if the parts are available or if they can even get them for me. It's kind of like, you know, I used to have a full head of hair till I started dealing with people like that. Yeah! Anyway, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to have to edit this one down anyway. So, take it easy. Have a good one. Catch you in a bit.